Alright, Infinity Kingdom. Let's talk a bit about IB Prime. A lot of you have been asking me about Illusion Battle Prime Season 3. What am I running? What's the best build ever? Quick answer, I don't know yet. Long answer, this is gonna be sort of a best of season 1 and 2, just to give everybody a baseline of what used to work really well. I'm gonna show you the build, the Fire Can't build that dominated season 1 and 2 in the pre-league stage. I'm also gonna show you 2 of my favorite setups, show you the builds and sort of point you in that direction. I'm not gonna claim that these are the best builds in the world, but they certainly do quite damn well, and maybe some of you geniuses can improve it and make it even better. Let me know. But what we are going to do today is have a look at IB Prime builds. So first up, why the heck are we talking only about fire? We're talking fire because the fire dragon is so damn OP in this game mode. First up, the dragon breath deals very high damage. That means you will always make a huge dent in your opponent, even if you set up a rubbish march. But setting up a proper march means that you are just far ahead in the game right off the bat if you're fighting against someone not with the fire dragon. It just deals. It is the fire dragon's balanced to deal damage on way higher troop counts, but with IB Prime, we are limited to baseline troop counts, and basically the game is not balanced for that. So the fire dragon is just overpowered. The Fire Dragon also works particularly well with, again, we have low troop counts, the battles are very short and intense, you win them in the first 10 seconds, meaning graces and blessings are a lot stronger here than anywhere else. Again, the Fire Dragon just provides you a nice 10% buff on on grace, on blessing, which is just bloody amazing in this mode. So, this is why we're always talking fire, but you can do other builds. You can run lightning. I'm not going to show you any lightnings here, but because I haven't found anything that's good enough, but it certainly is out there. There's also water builds, but with the fire dragon. I'm gonna be running one of those myself this Sunday, testing out some lightning and some water fighter dragon. Anyway. This is basically just why we always talk about the fire for IB Prime. It's the fire dragon largely. It should also be said that the fire immortals themselves are quite good. They are all solid. There's no bad ones amongst them. And, well, with the exception of Arash, of course, but we're always swapping him out. Hippo, William, and Wu are all excellent immortals, and they're all available. So, top 3 builds, because I got 3 builds for you. The first one is gonna be the Fire Genghis Khan build. It showed the best overall results from season 1 as well as season 2 of IB Prime. In the first stage, the pre-league stage of the battle. It drops off in the playoffs, so don't run this in the playoffs, right? But it should be noted that this build performed particularly well because many people ran winds and earths and water and stuff like that, and that's where Khan really shines. You get value out of his wounds. Seems that everybody has kind of figured out the fire's the best thing now. So not a lot of people are running healing, but some still are, in which case wounds is awesome. And even though people aren't, then Genghis Khan is actually pretty decent value because he does have quite a large burst AoE attack right up front. So he works out well even without relying on his wounds. But that is what this build was made for, and why it's probably not going to be the best when we're done with season 3. Anyway, it is a very powerful build, and just going quickly through it. This is from one of the initial rounds. Empress Wu, you want to run Death Breath, Concentration, and Annihilation. You're pumping magic damage as much as you can. On Khan, you're running Assist. To assist Wu, we can't allow our Empress Wu to lose troops. You're running Malice to reduce the incoming damage, especially from other fires and chase builds. If you max out on a Malice, you're almost immune to chase, so that works out quite well. Energy suppression, just because it's an energy game, right? Wounds is of course important on Genghis Khan. That is the main reason, well, one of the two reasons that he is good. He's got wounds that discards all healing done. In this case, Zenobia, as you can see, no healing done. That's perfect. That's wonderful. That's one muted immortal and a huge advantage. Does the same thing to the water dragon, makes it basically useless. Anyway, the second, of course, is that he just natively deals a lot of damage as well. For William, we're running Weakness, we're running Oaken Guard, and we're running Assist. We're just basically making William into a crit buff vending machine, and then supplying a few graces that just take 15% less damage from any type. Awesome. On Hippo, we're gonna do Adrenaline Rush because we want her to get ahead in the energy game. Every time she gains energy, she actually also reduces the enemy's energy. So it's kind of a double value on energy regen on Hippolyta due to her ultimate ability and the way that works. We also run Rage Blessing, just because again RB Prime's all about getting those ultimates off fast. And we are running Blessing of Defense, another very excellent ability, proccing the damage buff of Dragon and just supplying a flat reduction of damage taken. Excellent, very standard build. This is what kind of came to be sort of a baseline, just a solid value build out of Season 1 and out of Season 2. It worked very well, and yeah, that's great. But I also have 2 new builds to show today. These are things that I've been tinkering around with in the first 2 rounds, and things that I've been beating this Fire Khan setup with. I've also been getting killed by some other setups that I didn't really think I would get killed by, but that's a learning journey, you know. I'm not gonna say that you're gonna win every battle relying on one of these 2 builds that are coming up, because they all do something different, and sometimes you'll win, sometimes you'll lose, but they are my favorite builds, and they are showing quite a lot of power and quite a lot of potential. Because I think what you need to do is not think of them as complete builds, but critically think about all the decisions that I've made that I'm gonna show you, and say, hey, Myrax's wrong here. I think we can improve it by doing this. Because I do think that one of these, or possibly a lightning or a water, is going to be the pre-league special. I don't think this Fire Khan is gonna keep its crown, so to speak. Alright, just before we get into the other 2 builds that I've been running for Season 3, let's take a brief break and just a quick reminder about the most recent campaign from Huawei. Huawei is offering some nice discounts on and coupons and etc. on everything you spend and do in IK, so that's awesome. And the latest is still the spend and earn campaign, so just a reminder, this is still going on. You can get those flowers as you spend. You get flowers in this campaign, and you can redeem your flowers for up to $100 voucher. Just 500 bucks spent is worth $100 in a coupon. That's a very nice discount for all of you out there who is spending. There's a lot more info on this in the link down below in this video. They also have a gift code you can claim, some for free. You got a gift pack for the quick ones. They got all kinds of events and giveaways, and just campaigns and all this stuff in the Huawei Discord as well. So head on in there and join. But just quick reminder before we move on that this is the most recent and active campaign as of right now, end of May. So for the first of these two builds, we are going to be doing a fire with Merlin. In this one, we are basically saying, okay, kind of the same concept as the fire Khan, right? That you have a big splash AoE that just pumps damage. It's great, but from Khan we wanted the wounds debuff, which is awesome in some cases, but no one's running healing anymore. And with no one running healing, why not get a bit more damage if the point is in fact to just have damage? So that's what we're gonna be doing here, and it works quite well, especially against fires, obviously, because you are relying on Merlin and the water inherent elemental buff and elemental advantage over fire immortals. This sucks if you are up against someone actually running water, just to get that out. Anyway, I'm gonna show the entire build here. Basically, it's in the line within the realms of what we are used to. But on on William, we are doing energy suppression, misleading, and resist. Basically, we wanna just get ahead in the energy game. This build is gonna be very focused on getting Merlin and Wu to burst before the enemy does. Because if we do that, then we are quite far ahead. We are building up for that very first ultimate round of damage. We're also just gone misleading because it works well. People seem to have forgotten that coercion is a really good aura, so misleading has been working out quite well for me at least. Resist, just great because magic damage. On Merlin, I'm running him with Malice in an aura slot. Just Malice is obligatory in any IV Prime build, and in this case, we're gonna use a slot on Merlin. We're also gonna run concentration, and we're gonna max that. And we're running annihilation, and we're gonna max that. We're gonna do that because Merlin is going to be pumping a ton of damage against fire immortals, and that's just awesome. We are not doing 3 damage skills here because we need a reliable chase proc for our Wu. I love running chase builds. I think it's a lot of fun to see them go off, and just sometimes you're gonna be able to just take down 3 marches because chase procced. Get building towards that, especially in a pump damage build like this one with Merlin. I think it's fun, and I think it works quite well. So we're running Death Breath there to proc the maxed out chase, and we're running Rage because everybody apparently kind of figured out that Malice is a really good aura. So everyone's running Malice now, and that means crit chance has dropped dramatically from the previous seasons. So Rage is just amazing, and will ensure some of them chase procs. Maybe you get lucky. Some people don't like this. If you don't like this, then you can swap around. You can do some auras, and you can move Death Breath to Merlin and Malice back on Wu, and just do dual Nova Malice or something. I like chase builds. On Hippolyta, we're running Rage Blessing, we're running Weakness, and we're running Adrenaline Rush. Again, Rage Blessing prioritized because we are actually not prioritizing Hippolyta energy region for once. Instead, we still want it, we still do AR, etc. But for once, we want to buff up the backline as much as we can. So we're gonna say, well, we will get a proc on either Merlin or Wu, and regardless, that is going to serve us very nice. Serve us very well, sorry. So basically, just a pretty simple damage pumper build that just gets you ahead by simply casting its big AoE ultimates really fast and with elemental advantage. It's simple, but it works quite well. Like I said, I am running this as a chase build, as you can see here. Why? Sometimes Empress Wu procs her crits and she just destroys an entire army before it gets to make an auto attack. It's incredibly fun and just a personal preference of mine. For the second and last build, or well, the third build of this video, but the second new build, we are going to look at another fire, but it is a fire Cleo, and it's kind of the reverse of our fire Merlin, even though it seems very close to the same thing and many of the passives are exactly the same. We're upgrading them slightly differently, and that's because we are building not towards having more damage relying on another damage dealer in the backline like we did with Merlin. No, instead we're doing the exact opposite. We are relying on reducing the enemy damage dealt. This specifically works against magic damage. So this does give you an edge where Merlin only worked against fire. This build and this build concept works against all magic damage. So if you are faced with someone clever who's been saying, hey, I actually figured out water and how to make it work, here's a big pump of Merlin that's just gonna ruin the fire march. Well, this one runs Cleo and says, no you ain't. Your Merlin's not gonna be doing the same amount of damage that you rely on. And that's basically what this build centers around, building up magical defense in order to overcome enemy magic damage pumper teams. On top of that, Cleo just deals a lot of damage as well. It's quite surprising that even though we are actually running a defensive assist build here, Cleo does very, very well. She gets off some nice damage, and she's actually there mainly for the debuff, so that's just awesome. And it is mainly the debuff, because entangling snakes, her ultimate ability, is why we want her here. She deals a lot of magic damage to all enemies, but not as much as Merlin, and with no elemental advantage over fire. So she will deal a lot less damage than Merlin, but the magical damage of the two enemies with the highest magical attack will be reduced by 35% for 6 seconds. 35%. That's the same as running a max leveled defense blessing as well as a level 1 resist. That's crazy value out of a single debuff in this meta, damage meta, that is. So for the build, we're doing kind of similar thing to before, but we're upgrading it slightly different. So again, it's misleading, energy suppression and rage blessing, because we are playing an energy game. We're not maxing suppression and rage this time, because it's not the utmost important thing here. We are doing assist, blessing a defense, or absolute defense, personal preference. I haven't gotten enough data yet to see if absolute defense actually makes sense. I'm afraid that the troop counts are too low and the battle's too fast, where you have to be both lucky on absolute defense as well as just it might not be enough time and enough procs to actually make up value. So for now I'm running defense blessing, but certainly if someone's tested this with absolute defense, please do tell. But the point is kind of the same. We are protecting the troop count of our Empress Wu with assist, and we're reducing all the damage that we're taken by a flat 25%. Amazing. We're also running Malice, and we're upgrading that fully because we are expecting pumper fire damage. We don't want to take any crits. We don't want to let the enemy proc its chase. And that leads to our Empress Wu. You can run her in two different ways. First up, you can run it like I do, with a big balls version with chase, death breath, and annihilation. Why I'm calling this a big balls move is because you will be relying on luck. You will be relying on getting those critical hits without a rage buff. So basically, if you are against anyone who's figured out that Malice maxed is just awesome, then you're not getting a lot of value out of this, and you would have been a lot better off running concentration. But if you're up against someone who doesn't know that Malice is extremely awesome, then you will absolutely demolish them, and you can take multiple main marches in a single attack. It depends on what kind of thing you're into. It's a personal preference thing. Do you want to risk it? If not, if you want to do a more conservative one, just run concentration instead of chase. It will always perform very well. Hippolyta, weakness, AR, resist. Self-explanatory, we've had it all before. Basically a defense version of our fire build, one that says, okay, we know that everyone is running massive fire damage, massive magical damage, sorry. We've realized that everyone is either running a Wu or a Merlin with full max damage passives, so why not just sort of say, hey, magic dealers, fuck you, here's a 35% debuff. It works quite well, and it has been this has been the best one that I've been running so far in Season 3. What will I be running in Season 3, you may ask? Or well, in round 3 or 4 or whatever. What are we on now? Round 3, right? I'm just gonna check real quick. Oh, we're on round 4, right? So what will I be running for round 4? Well, I'm gonna be running this Fire Cleo, because I really like it. I'm also gonna be running a lightning, new lightning kind of thing that I'm cooking up. I'm not really sure I got the hang of it just yet, but that is gonna be fun. It's testing. Maybe if it works out well, I'm gonna be doing another video. I'm also gonna be testing some water, because like I said in the beginning, I like these fire builds, and I do think fire is damn strong, but I also think there's a lot of potential in both lightning and water especially, especially water with a fire dragon in it. I just think no one has really cracked it yet, but I think there's potential there, and I'm gonna keep exploring that. So maybe more on that on a later date. Anyway, before we end this video, just a quick reminder for all of you who've forgotten since the last seasons. You want to run a third march, but you don't want to use it. I mean, your passive skills are going to be so terrible on that third that you are just going to be hemorrhaging troops, especially in the initial rounds. But you should remember to run one and to have one maxed with troops, both as a troop backup but also just to destroy reloads. Remember, it takes 3 marches to kill a reload, and killing a reload is a hell of a lot stronger than blocking it. Also, 4th marches, remove your troops, make it into a fake. Fake marches, fake rallies against your enemies is extremely annoying to deal with. You have no idea if it's a big main fire coming at you or if it is just a 4 troop count, whatever, wind build or water or whatever. But what a lot of people do is remove 3 of the immortals and then send it. Why that is terrible is because it's really easy to figure out. Have a look here. If you see only shieldmen coming towards you, I'm not really scared of that. I know there's going to be 1 troop with those, and they won't even make a dent in the walls. If there's coming, archers and shieldmen and cavalry at me, I have no idea. I have no way of knowing, is this a fake or is this a real one? So remember to just set every immortal, maintain all 4 immortals in your 4th fake march, just set it to 1. Anyway, best of luck in your IB Prime battles. It's IB Prime Sunday in just 2 days. I'm excited for round 4. We're almost at that halfway mark. Well, kind of are in terms of rounds, excluding those you have to skip. So yeah, good luck, have fun, and you know where to find me. I'm Myrak on 105 on Discord on IK-wiki website. Hit me up if you are trying one of these things, if you have improved one of these things, which I hope someone out there is doing, because I'm sure there are people more clever than I am. Hit me up, let me know. I really want to talk marches. Could do that all day. So get back to me with some reflections. That's all for this one on IB Prime Season 3. The first rounds has been completed. Good luck and thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one. As always, please do subscribe to the channel. I consistently release new content here on the IK channel and on the official IK-wiki website. Links are in the description. On these channels, you can find guides from everything in IK, from events to talents, passives, finished builds, and game mechanics. With that, I'm gonna leave you, and as always, thank you for watching, and see you for the next one.